Hi everyone, welcome back to Singapore Maths Academy. We're going to go through another 11 plus question today, and this is part of our problem solved or hashtag problem solved posts that we're setting up from this week onwards. So let's go ahead and let's look at our question. A farmer has 364 ewes, and each ewe has either one or two newborn lambs. If there are 468 lambs in total, how many ewes have twin lambs? Okay, so at first, some of us felt this was quite a simple question, and we did something like 468 take away 364 divided by 2, which played into a misconception there. So what should we have done then? So one of the things that we look at here, it's a bit of a tricky question because there's different parts here that can kind of make us fall over. So we know that there are 364 ewes here. I don't know if I'm saying that right, if I'm pronouncing it right. So let me know if I'm not. And they can either have one or two newborn lambs, okay? And there are 468 lambs in total. How many of the ewes have twin lambs? Okay, so as someone that's got twins myself, this is an interesting question. 364 ewes and 468 lambs. So therefore, there must have been at least a few that had twin lambs. So how do I do this? Well, questions like this pop up quite often, right? Where they give you an option of one or two or sometimes even three. And the way we would suggest you start this off is by starting with the minimum and that amount, okay? So for example, in this case, we've got 364 ewes, okay? If we say all 364 ewes have one lamb rather than one or two, they all have one lamb. That means we'll have 364 lambs, right? But we know that can't be the case because in the farm, there are 468 lambs. And so that means there's a shortage. 468 take away 364. There's a shortage of 104 lambs short. And that's important to us because that must mean that there should be 104 more lambs from the ewes. But how do I do that? Well, how do I get that to happen? Well, if 104 lambs had an extra, sorry, 104 ewes had an extra lamb, that would be perfect, right? And so that must mean that 104 ewes had an extra lamb, which means they had twin lambs. And so 104 ewes have twin lambs, yeah. So the question here requires a simple answer, I suppose, but it needed us to kind of think about it and have a bit more of reasoning skills behind this type of question. So our strategy here, start with the minimum amount or halfway point in some cases. Either way is fine. And then work yourself up to the required amount, which in this case was 468 lambs. There was some confusion in some of our posts and solutions where we talk about ewes and lambs. Some of us got mixed up by the two, like I did in my speech, and so that's where we went wrong. Have a go if you haven't done so already with your children with this question, and let us know how you get along.